real quick.
Check, check, 1, 2. Am I on?
Yep, you're on.
Oh, crap. That was all Joey's fault. That was all. I'm just sitting here minding my own business, and Joey says, "Oh, you're on live." Holy. I don't know what you. Anyway, welcome to Trending. I'm not talking to you right now. You're on my poopy list. Welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. That's the beautiful thing about going live. Stuff like this will happen. And I didn't have any of that limeade today. We didn't. Where did we go, Joe? We went to Polo Loco today. Something like that. Juan Loco. Yeah, we went to Juan Loco today. So me, Ryan, and Joey. So that's what we had for lunch. I had 2 big old hot dogs. So, you started 1 minute early. I don't know how that happened. That never happens. I know. Well, the alert probably hasn't hit yet. So I don't know. The alert hit already?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Well, there we go. So, welcome. Man, the day after Nvidia earnings. How many of you still holding your Nvidia? Let's start off right there. How many of you, type of 1 in the room if you're still holding your Nvidia, type of 2 if you got out and took profit. Type of 1 if you're still holding your Nvidia, type of 2 if you got out and took profit. I am of the mindset I'm still in my NVDL. I'm still in my NVDL. It has not, even though it's gone down, it hasn't gone down a ton. It hasn't gone down a ton. Hasn't gone down a ton. I'm okay. I'm still okay. We listened to, man, by the way, thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up for the live stream last night for the call. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That was probably one of our biggest off the cuff streams. So that was freaking awesome. Joey stayed late. Ryan stayed late until he had to leave. And we finished it out for the call. So I'm still, look at that. Robert said he bought back in this morning. You know, I'm not sure I would have done that just quite yet. And I saw that, John, about Benzinga had over 10,000 people watching the NVIDIA call last night. We got close to 1,000. We had over 700 and some odd people, which was a big live stream for us. So thank you guys for showing out for that. That was freaking awesome. That really, really was awesome. So thank you for doing that. Buying opportunity. We're going to look at Nvidia. We're going to definitely talk about Nvidia today. We listened to the call. The call was good. The big thing that I missed from last night is that even though they did what they did, it was the growth prospect. The growth wasn't nearly as big, but man, they made a lot of money. They made a lot of money, a lot of freaking money, but it just wasn't. The growth wasn't there. But, you know, when a company is a $3 trillion market cap company, was that an unrealistic ask from the street? I don't know. I don't quite know. But Nvidia, in my mind, is still a powerhouse stock. Suketo, I think, is just what I'm explaining right now. The growth wasn't nearly as much as people expected it to be, even though it was still freaking good. That's what it came down to. That's what it came down to. So, so many all-time highs. A lot of other companies beat earnings last night too. Prior to Nvidia's earnings call, a lot of companies beat earnings. Overall, the market's moving higher. As you can see, we've got 2 green lights. But what concerns me looking at the color guard is that we've got all 3 colors being represented. We've got all red, yellow, and green. And when that happens, the market's having a hard time making up its mind which way it wants to go. But the predominant color, like I always say, always look for the predominant color. The predominant color is yellow. We're still cautiously bullish. I'm still saying that we're bullish, and I'll show you why in a second. All of the major indices are up today. The VIX is down today. All of our major market timing calls are still in an up situation. And with that, let's get right into the program. And this is why I'm still, Akshay is probably going to ask me, are you still bullish on the market? And the answer to your question is yes. I am still bullish on the market. As I look at today's candle, look at that. Today's candle is an open candle. Slight wick at the top of the candle. We're right off of the 3-month high. The 3 and the 8 are still in play. Even as the market fell for 3 days in a row going into Nvidia earnings, bounced off a level of support. The 3 and the 8 are still in play. yes, I'm still bullish on the market. Now, Dell reports tonight. You know, Ryan and I were talking. I don't even think we got Joey involved. I think the only market calls that we're going to do when it comes down to earnings calls are only going to be on companies with a market cap of $2 trillion or more. That means that there's going to be a select few companies that we ever do a market call on, a market earnings call on. So I think that's probably the best way to go. Of course, Nvidia is going to be in there, Microsoft is going to be in there, Apple is going to be in there, and then all of the other companies that have at least $2 trillion in market cap. Those are the companies that we're probably going to do calls on. All right, so we'll do live streams on their calls. I think that's a good way instead of trying to do it on everybody, because I think if we do it on everybody, y'all not going to show up for all of those. You're not going to show up for all of those. Deborah says, Glenn, I just received a notice at 2:05. Yep, that's fine. The alert just went out about 2 o'clock, so you're right on point, Deborah. This is the live. Any good ETF to park your money between trades? You know, Florida Dream, there's a couple of ETFs that I like to go back and forth with. You said park your money, though. I do like the ETF DFEN. I'm going to talk about that today. I think that with everything going on across the world with countries and wars and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to talk about Lockheed Martin just got another contract for training for the F-35s. If I'm going to look at any ETF to park my money into right now, I think that DFEN is going to be it. SoFi is on my list today as well, Brenda. SoFi, SWVXX. What the flying, is that an ETF? SW, yeah, I got DFEN. Yeah, I'm going to eat my own cooking when it comes down to a lot of these different stocks. SW, what is it? VXX. Sounds like a singing group. And now, welcome to the Sage, SWVXX. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly... Okay, never mind. Good, thank you. What do you think about Tiva? Listen, don't type in your ticker symbols yet. I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to look at them, not until we get the opportunity to look at them. All right, so Schwab Money Market Fund may not be a bad one as well. I am of the mindset what's prevalent right now as an ETF for me would be DFEN. Lulu after the market closes. A lot of retail this week, right? A lot of retail this week. All right. So that's what's going on in the market. Even with Nvidia down, and again, not down a lot, but even with Nvidia down, the market's still moving up. Nice up day. Let's go take a look at the news that's moving the market. A lot of it stems from GDP. GDP was good. GDP grew up nicely. Gross domestic product increased by at a 3% annualized rate over the last quarter. The Commerce Department's Bureau of Economic Analysis said in its second estimate of the second quarter of GDP on Thursday. That was an upward revision from the 2.8 reported last month. The country's making some money. Again, these are things that make me think that we don't get a rate cut in September. I think that you hear me say that, and right now I sound like a broken record when it comes down to that. I think it's a foregone thing that we're going to get a cut in September. I just keep putting that little glimmer of maybe the Fed really sits back and goes, I just can't do it. We'll see. We'll see. We will definitely see. A couple of people are saying SWVXX is where our cash is sitting. I'm going to look at it. Oil. You know I don't like talking about oil on the channel anymore. Oil surges with focus on U.S. economy and Libyan supply outage. The demand is there, but if the supply goes down, then that means oil should rise. Prices surged further as Libya suspended oil exports from 5 eastern ports. This comes as output from the country has more than halved this week, threatening to remove close to 1 million barrels a day off the global market. Why Libya has 2 governments vying over oil control, I'm not going to get into all of that, but that's going to be big. Bill says definitely a September cut. Again, there he is. Fitz says, cut now depends on employment reports. I agree. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And if jobs I say that because that makes sense. But you know something? How many of us actually trust the job numbers anymore? After the last revision, down almost 1 million, 818,000. How many of us really trust the job reports, and that maybe the job reports that are coming out are just being utilized from a political nature? That doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy all over. Not a little bit. Not at all. All right? So Amir says we have to get at least one cut in September. We don't have to. But we'll see. All Fed governors are on board with the cut, even the conservative Dove governors, but we have PCE. I keep saying, and thank you for that, Jeff, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to come out before the Fed's announcement. Here, you're talking about the Fed Bostic. He came out and said it's time to move on rates. But then this is what always happens. But wants to be sure. So even all of the dovish folks that they may be on board, but they all are still being that tepid way of, well, yeah, but it's like that. It's like a yeah, but, and I don't think markets like that. Nvidia earnings. Let's talk about it. Short of high expectations, but analysts maintain a bullish view. I'm one of those that maintain a bullish view. I'm not an analyst. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy behind a mic on YouTube. That's what I am. All right, so Matthew says job reports are always revised, not a political thing. But, all right, I do understand that. But in a state of the economy the way that we are right now, Matthew, I'm gonna leave that alone. You are right. But I still think that there's a political thing behind it, and I don't want to get into it. And I'm going to leave it right there. But Matthew, you are right. I'll do say that. You are right. Somebody's asking me about the almanac. I haven't used the almanac in so long, I can't find it. Joey, did you move my almanac? Oh. September almanac. I got the Jockey Club tomorrow. I'll look at the September almanac tomorrow. A lot of the people in here that are not part of the Jockey Club, I'm going to look at the almanac tomorrow. All right, how about that, Jim? All right, let's go to the next story. Buy the fear, says investor about SoFi. SoFi did well. Discussion about falling interest rates is no longer theoretical. Here we go. As the Fed, Jerome Powell, confirmed in a recent speech that the time has come for policy to adjust. This shift is expected to ripple through the market, particularly affecting lending firms such as SoFi. On the upside, lowering borrowing costs could boost SoFi's business by encouraging more businesses and individuals to take on debt. However, it also carries a drawback: tighter for profit margins. So we're going to take a look at SoFi, but in here it says buy the fear. So we'll take a look at that. Crypto's on the move. Crypto got back up over 60,000 or close to it. But in this story, Crypto.com partners with PayPal for effortless crypto purchases in the U.S. We're going to look at both PayPal and Coin. Next story, OpenAI in talks to raise funding that would value it at more than $100 billion. What company is going to best feel that effect? It's going to be Microsoft. OpenAI is in talks to raise funding that would value the artificial intelligence startup at more than $100 billion. Thrive Capital would lead the round and would invest $1 billion, according to a source familiar with the situation. How about Best Buy? Best Buy surge on profit beat and guidance hike. As a matter of fact, I got to go to Best Buy. I got to get me another Mac. I got a couple of events, parties, and weddings to do. My Mac is dying. It's an old Mac. I think it's time for me to get a new Mac. Joey gave me a site on Facebook, and I don't never get no alerts. I think that's Joey's fault. He gave me that to hook me up, and then now I don't get nothing. So, but I need anybody hook me up with a new Mac. I'm looking for a good place to buy. It doesn't have to be a brand new Mac. I'll take a used Mac. Anybody hook a brother up with a Mac? I need one a little stronger. I need one probably with an M1. Huh? What? What did you say? Well, I'm not. Does that sound like I'm begging? I'm just asking VV Nation to hook a brother up. I'm just asking for information. I'm just asking for. Why you think I'm begging? Does anybody think I'm begging? I'm just talking, having a conversation with VV Nation. There's a lot of people out here that have influences all over the place. Costco, I got BJ's. But I'm just having a conversation with VV Nation, folks. That's all. Wow. That's messed up. Why don't you go back to sleep or something? Talking about Best Buy, I got another one. Affirm. Lloyd says he thinks that I'm begging too. OMG. Anyway, fine. I'm never talking to y'all on a personal level no more. Just not. Affirm shares surged 16% after better than expected results, strong guidance. All right, we're going to take a look at Affirm today. The company reported per share loss. Now, interesting. Per share loss of 14 cents while analysts were expecting 51 cents. So they did better, even though they're not great. They did better than what everybody else expected. So that's very interesting. I'm not getting a Windows PC to DJ on. That's just not happening. That's just not happening. That's just not happening. I'm not, no. I have found that over the years of DJing, a Mac is the go-to computer for all of us DJs for the most part. For the most part. All right, for the most part. Glenn, what is going on with CLS? We'll take a look at it. I'm not ready to look at your stocks yet. It would be cheaper than sending millions of K-Cups and Cafe Bustelo. Just saying, says Mark. Sigh. Mark is my Cafe Bustelo guru. I'm telling you. Commodore 64 would be great. Commodore 64 would be great. I used to have a Commodore 64. I used to have it wouldn't handle it. And last story, how about this? Tesla gains after William Blair points to Apple-esque aura. Ooh, Apple-esque aura. Where is it? Where is it combined in terms of valuation? What's part of it I was looking for? Analyst Jed Dorsheimer said that the firm views Tesla Energy as the most underappreciated component of Tesla. Steve Chappell and I were talking this morning. You know, Tesla's got its hands in everything. Actually, Elon's got his hands in everything, from the electric cars to an AI company to space. You know something, and even when, and I can sit back and say at some point in time that even when Tesla, the car company, is not doing well, he's got so many other coals in the fire that he's a smart dude. VectorVest, I shouldn't share my book of what I have, but I wouldn't have found. What is that? But I wouldn't have found what? Found those without, I don't know why I clicked on that. I haven't any idea what I looked at. Oh, look at that. M2 MacBook at Best Buy for $999. Thank you, Jeff. See, that's all I was asking. That's all. I didn't beg nobody for nothing. Sign. Okay. All right, so Tesla's on the move. Let's go take a look at it. Let's go. In terms of valuation, Tesla was noted to trade at an enterprise value of 29 times the firm's 2026 EBITDA estimate and price 49 times the 2026 earnings per share estimate. While those multiples were acknowledged to be difficult to justify, William Blair thinks the halo effect created by Musk, the company's culture of first principles, and the technology advantages it has established warrant its significant valuation premium. Let's go now back into the software. Let's go take a look at my lists. Go back into the program. Let's go look at my list of stocks from the news. First off, all of the markets are up. The VIX is down. So people are less fearful as the market's going up. The Dow is up over 1%, and the IWM or Russell 2000 is pushing 1.5%. The two biggest moving indices today. Interesting. So I got my list of AI stocks and ETFs, right? This is going to be very interesting with Nvidia still being the powerhouse stock I know, down 4.5%. You know, I'm okay with that. Again, I own NVDL. I asked the question of how many of you still own your Nvidia. More of you do than don't. I'm still fundamentally sound stock. RT got hit because it's getting hit. But the VST, CI, earnings growth, everything about Nvidia is great. IV, implied volatility crush on Nvidia today has been great. Wow, didn't expect that. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking that big money is still pushing these down to get back in to drive the stock's price higher. They want a better price. You know something? If we can get close to its value of 112, that might not be a bad play. I still say let the dust settle. Have your stops in place like I do. I have your stops in place like I do. In case it hits it, get out and wait for a better buying opportunity. Is the following on your list? IESC, HEI. I have none of those stocks on my list. I've got none of those stocks on my list, Tabula. My list consists of the stocks that made the news that I'm looking at, all right? So the reason why I wanted to look at this is because look at all of the majority of the companies. Look at, this is the AI stocks and ETFs. There's 74 of them. There's 74 of them. More of them are still going up than going down. I just wanted to show that. Nvidia is probably the biggest mover to the downside. All right, let me click on it again. Upstart is the biggest mover to the upside, but to the downside, no. Yep, Nvidia is the biggest mover to the downside, but out of 74, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the stocks are going down. Only 7 out of 74 are going down. Very, very, and it doesn't matter, says, agree, big money pushing it down. The implied volatility on the options to the downside increased prior to, and I did put that in my video, that did catch my attention, that the market sentiment, that the implied volatility on the put side was definitely growing. I still think that Nvidia is still the most powerhouse stock on the planet. The most powerhouse stock on the planet. And I think people are pushing it down to get a better price. Okay, that's my 2 cents. I don't know how many of you agree with me or disagree with me, but that's what I think. So the stocks that made the news that are in my list today, Nvidia, the only stock going down. Affirm, up 33% today. PayPal with that partnership with crypto, up 4%. Microsoft, well, because we know that OpenAI is getting funding, up 1.5%. SoFi, look at that, 10%. Best Buy beat earnings, up almost 15%. Oil's on the rise, 1.5%. iBit and Coin, I'm going to put that with the whole coin, with the whole crypto and PayPal. Both of those are up today. And Tesla on the rise. So the only stock that made the news that's in my list that's going down is Nvidia. That's it. Open interest in Nvidia is weak. Gary on the call or put side. Kiwi Meow says, agreed. Last year, same time, Nvidia was down and then took off at the end of the year. I think that everybody and their mama and Tuki and them, they all know that Nvidia is a powerhouse stock. All right. NASDAQ looks like it's fading after the morning push. Again, the two biggest industries that are going up, Ritman, are the Dow and the Russell 2000. All right, now I'm going to give you some fish. All right, safe undervalued stocks are rising. Good long-term stocks. These are the kinds of stocks that I give you every Monday when I give you my weekly picks for the week for both the U.S. and Canada. These are the kinds of stocks that I think are, good long-term stocks. I don't know why this is happening. It's taking a minute. But here they are. Arch Capital, Hartford, American Express, Aspen, and ICF International. All of these are up today, but look at these. All fundamentally sound companies that are in uptrends. This is what I agree is all about. Safe, undervalued stocks. All of these are undervalued that are going up in price in a rising market. That's what I'm looking for. And these all have double-digit earnings growth. These are good long-term plays. Amir, I need you to start paying attention to some of these stocks. These are good long-term stocks that you don't have to worry about. Glenn, any updates on VC? What's VC? AVAV, they got an order for drones worth $1 billion. I did see that story. I don't know why I didn't do it as a story. It should have been in my main list today. I'm going to put it in there, though. $1 billion. What's the other drone company? There's another one. There's an Israeli one. VAV. That's a big story. And again, I don't know why I didn't put it in there. There's the VectorVest web-based. No, all I can tell you is that we're still playing with it. Up 6% today overall. I listen, in regards to when is it going to come out, it ain't happening as far as I know. I don't know when it's going to come out. I have no idea. I got some news for you, but I can't tell you it yet. And it may include, I can't tell you. But I don't know when it's coming out. How about that? I don't know when it's coming out. I know Fitz said such a tease. I was thinking about how I was going to address what I was going to try to say, but I can't. That's what it came down to. I know Fitz. Fitz is now mad at me. I'm sorry, Fitz. But when G Money asked, it caught me off guard, and no, it's not going to be in the new version because it's not a real thing. All right, so AVAV is in the list too, up 6. I like this. Fundamentally sound, double-digit earnings growth as well. These are stocks. AVAV is something I would definitely keep on my list. How to do a covered call on Nvidia. What do you mean you sell a call at a higher strike price? So if Nvidia is trading at 119, you do a covered call. So actually, you'd be right at the money if you sold to 120. And as long as it stays, I wouldn't do it that close though. As long as it stays below that 120 strike you sold, you're going to collect your premium. If it goes above though, it could get called away from you. So in this case, I'd probably sell a covered call at about 125. That would be a good way to sell the covered call, and I'd sell it 30 days or less out. That's it in a nutshell, Jazz. All right, that's it. And it's also why you got to have 100 shares of the stock in order to sell that one contract. That's right. Thank you for that. All right. So I did show you my safe undervalued stocks, folks. If you're not trading any of these, put them in the watch list. All right, Hig is put these stocks in the watch list. These are good long-term stocks that you don't have to worry. These are your sleep well at night stocks, what I like to call SWAN. These are your sleep well at night stocks. As a matter of fact, let's go peep these out real quick. VectorVest simple, 1 year graph. See, now you know why these are my SWAN stocks. Look at these stocks. Rising, bottom left, top right, rising earnings. That one is a little bit more volatile. Unless you're going to trade that, I probably wouldn't sleep well at night with that. That one is not as volatile as Aspen, but love the rising. So if anything, if I'm telling you to take a look at anything, 1, ACGL, 2, HIG. Wow, look at that's really good. And 3, American Express. Those are my top 3 out of the 5 that I gave you. Are my sleep well at night stocks right here. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so I got you covered as far as that's concerned. All my swing traders out there, I got some MPI stocks for you to look at. All right, this is from all my swing traders. Swing traders have got about 2 to 14 days. Let's graph these with the MPI. Put this on a 3-month graph. Let's go find the graph layout for MPI. Let's go peep these out real quick. I like the RT cross right here. Nice run up. Now keep in mind that the MPI is more of a technical play, not the long-term stocks that I just gave you. But nice little entry right here. Watch Lays though. Watch the big wicks at the top. We did get the RT. We got the trigger with RT crossing, but I don't like the big wicks at the top. Mankind, nice crossover on RT, nice do a 3-month high right there. I'd look at 5 cents higher than the high there. Here, I like this, PFFE, PaySafe, crossover on RT, new 3-month high, very little wick at the top. I like that. Again, these are technical plays. DCTH, I do not like the big wick at the top. I probably wouldn't touch this. I do have the RT cross, but this is a profit-taking play right here. I probably wouldn't touch that. All right, for more of the swing trading, let's go look at some star search for you. I got you. So now this is going to be another layout. Let's do a graph layout, graph them all, 3-month graph, put this onto the star search. Now, what I like about these plays is that these are going to slowly get into the fast lane, but I'm trying to find the squeezes. where the Bollinger Bands are getting close to each other, less volatility. But coming out of the slow lane into the fast lane, I like it. Slow lane into the fast lane, I like it. All right, this is a whole nother way. Again, swing trading, though. I like the tightness of the Bollinger Bands here and breaking out. Now it's starting to spread apart. Keep your eyes on NEOG. Keep your eyes on NEOG. Same thing with American Airlines. Sigh. I don't like the travel stocks. I haven't liked the travel stocks for the longest time because everybody's complaining about too much money, spending too much money. Oh, but, you know, if they give you an opportunity, I'd be careful with American Airline. How about that? I'd be careful with American Airline. PGY, again, you'll notice that a lot of these stocks that I'm looking at from a technical standpoint, from a swing trading standpoint, going to be a little bit more aggressive in place. But coming out of the slow lane into the fast lane, bigger body than the wick at the top, both DPOs are going up. That's another swing trade. Those are some swing trades. I didn't do anything for the aggressive 3 and the 8. Oh, no, that was last week. So I'm going to go to the super aggressive. These are all news-driven. These are all news-driven. Look at these moves, 10% or more. 10% or more. Notice that 3 out of the 5 stocks are sells. These are trades. All right, these are trades. I don't want to quick test them. Actually, I might want to quick test them. Let's go. No, I don't want to quick test them. That might square that. Forget that. Let's graph these, and I'm going to use, I've got a graph set up called a trade graph, looking at the 3 and the 8. Graph layout, GETJR trade. I'll find it. That's the tech. That's the trade. This is looking at the 3 and the 8. The 3, the 8, and the 20 all in play. Big gap. Big gap in not giving it all back. This is probably news-driven. These are stocks that are up 10% or more. Most likely, these will be news-driven. Nvidia is down 10%. Listen, I'm in the leverage one. I'm in NVDL. So, wow. This one, I don't like the big wick at the top, unlike not a lot of wick at the top of this one. Gap up, little wick. Gap up, big wick. That one I don't like nearly as much. That's BBW. What is that, Build-A-Bear? How many of y'all still got Build-A-Bears in your malls? Type of 1. I think our main mall, what is it? What's our, North Lake? That's ours, right, Joey? North Lake? I think it is. I think we still got a Build-A-Bear in there. I think there's still a Build-A-Bear in there. Over by the little play area where the kids can run and smack themselves against yeah. I think it's still over there. And by the pretzel place, Mama Ann's, whatever the hell her name is. Yeah, Auntie Marie's. I think it's over there. I don't like this one because of the big wick at the top, but big gap up. Same thing with Irene. Hello. I mean, crypto, man. Crypto is starting to move, but look at the give back on today's move. The 3, the 8, and the 20 are all in play. Big wick on the top of that miner, that big miner. And then what is this one? Lucy. I was trying to day trade this stock this morning and got my butt handed to me. I paid $50 for one of those bears when my kids were little, says John. I've bought a lot of Build-A-Bears. Man, every time my kids, when they were young and they turned a year to 2 years or 3 years, after they got to about 5 years, they weren't getting no more doggone bears. Because after a while, you got to put the little heart in it and all that. Man, that's such a scam for those bears. They so cute and they got a little heart and whatever. It's a bear. And then you watch them stick the thing into the bear's, but you know, anyway, I don't like the way they make it. Wow, AB just gave us a super chat. AB just gave us a super chat. Put the ones in the room, folks. Put the ones in the room. All right, thank you for that. AB, I need a stock from you. AB, I need a stock from you. All right, Bitfarm slow. Feel like Glenn. I'm not crypto. You know, Lisa, I'm not a big fan of crypto. All right, thank you very much for that, AB. But AB, you got to give me a stock so I can take a look at. So I want to go look at the portfolios because I want to know how many of you watched the Monday's video, the Monday top weekly picks. Type the word me in the room. If you watch the Monday video, my Monday videos, the 6 p.m. videos, all about the top weekly stocks. How many of you watch it? Just type a me in the room. And the reason why I'm asking is because I had a portfolio, the top 5 weekly picks. I told you I was going to work on it. And these are still the stocks that I own from 8/12. 8/12. I'm not putting any new stocks in here. I did stocks on 8/19. I will do stocks 8/19, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I did stocks this week on 8/26, and I'll do stocks next week. But folks, remember I tell you my sleep well at night stocks? I'm giving you new stocks like this every week. But until these get stopped out, they're not going to get replaced. Until these get stopped out, I liked it, the portfolio, after I said I was going to pay more attention to it, definitely rising higher. Definitely rising higher. Let's go look at my multi-bagger one. What am I at? I'm up 24.28%. I got 4 out of my 5 stocks are double digits. AGS, it's the closest to bagging, is at 31.5%. HG is at 15, and you see the dates that I put those all in as well. Nice portfolio that we've been tracking since January 23rd. 24% on multi-bagger picks. Not bad play. All right, let's go back to the viewers. Any more stocks I want to give you? Let's go look and see what's going on with the commodities. Let's go see what's going on with the commodities. What's moving today? Lithium is on the rise today. Watch it, though, because as commodity, RT is still below 1. What RTs? Let's go see what commodities have RTs above. Wood, all right, with an RT above 1. Gold, with an RT above 1. Precious metals, gold, energy, interesting. XLE, with an RT above 1. And that's it out of all of my commodities. Which commodities to look at? Now, we talked about NVDY. I am not a fan. Hold on. I'm going to tell you something. Why I'm not a fan of the YieldMax stocks. I got to find it. Where is that portfolio? I'm not a fan of the YieldMax stocks. Mega Plays, is that it? Yeah. All right. Here's all my YieldMax stocks, and I've been watching this since May 1st. May 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4. YieldMax stocks since May. And someone says that, they pay and they're not working. And let me go look, and hold on, before I say they're not working, let's go look at the ROIs. Apple's YieldMax since May, up 10.5%. Nvidia YieldMax since May, 1.61. On Microsoft, down 14%. On Coin, down 33%. So when I sit back and I say, from a price perspective, they may pay the yields, and I got that. But if I'm looking at the actual ticker symbols, with the exception of the Apple YieldMax, APLY, that's the only one out of them that's working well. So when I step back and I say I'm not a fan of the YieldMaxes, this is why. Does this make sense to anybody? Where's Jeff? Because I know Jeff was like, yo, NVD. Well, I'm looking since May, June, July, August. That's 3 months. Looking at the actual ticker symbols now, I'm not taking into effect the dividends that they're paying. Your ROI doesn't account. I know, there we go. I'm not taking into effect the actual dividends that are being paid. I'm looking at the ticker symbols. So maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, and I could be. All right, maybe I need, I'll see. Someone say Nvidia is dumping. Let's go look at it real quick. NVDA, NVDL. I'm going to look at them both. We'll put them on intraday. I'm going to put them on intraday. We're going to look at it today, real time. Intraday, 5-minute bars, current day. There it is. It is moving. I did have a level. I've been watching it all day because I own it. Because I specifically own NVDL. It is pulling. I don't know what's happening right now unless some kind of big money is dumping the stock, which would be bad. And of course, I'm taking the bigger brunt of it because I'm in NVDL, which is 2 times leverage. But I don't know what just went on. Anybody got any news? Anybody got any news? Somebody said the market is tanking. Let's go put that onto intraday, 1-minute bars, current day. The market in general is falling. It is. I don't know what's going on. We still got an hour and a half or so worth of market open. I don't know what happened news-wise unless somebody's got something out there that's talking about what's going on in the market right now. I do not know. I do not know. So Jeff says NVDY is a 4.3 monthly SEC payout. All right. Again, I'm looking at the return on investment on the actual ticker symbols, not incorporating the dividends. So maybe I need to be looking at it a little differently, Jeff. You might be right, okay? You definitely might be right. All right, what else do I have for you today? Did I give any multi-bagger picks today? I did. There's 3, 4, 5. These have nothing out of stocks I want you to keep on your mind. Most likely, all of these stocks, not most likely, all of these stocks do have RVs above 1. In order to be a multi-bagger pick, these have to have good upside potential. They may not all be undervalued, and actually none of these are undervalued, but they do have good upside potential, and they will be double-digit earnings growth. That is part of the expectations I have when I look for a stock that's a multi-bagger stock. So if nothing else, write these down, take a picture, don't matter. Keep these on your radar. I keep these on your radar. Gold stocks. Let's go see what gold is doing today. What's gold doing? Gold is going up today. Everything in here. Where's the dollar? The dollar is up as well. Interesting. Normally when the dollar is up, gold is down. But the gold is up and the dollar is up. Normally that doesn't bode well together. But Harmony is up. Biggest mover is ASM, which is a silver play. Kinross is up over 2%. Barrick up pushing a 1%. First Majestic AG is up 1.5%, and EMX Royalty also up about 1.5%. Let's go look at oil and energy. I love that when you guys come here, you get nice, well-rounded outlook of everything that's going on. HNRG, big move today, up almost 5%. WTI up to almost 3%. USO, that's what I normally track when I look at oil, up 1.67%. Vistra Energy up over 1%. On the other side, natural gas, coal, oil is going up, which means coal would be going down. Weekly theme, what am I looking at? The weekly theme I'm looking at today is MPOC stocks. Not much going on except for VRAX, up almost 7% today. And emergent bio something or other is up 1.3. But Tonex, man, a stock that I like a lot, getting beaten up today, getting beaten up like a son of a gun. All right, that's not a good thing. I want to go back to the market timing graph. Let's watch. I'm getting ready to go look at your stocks live, but I really want to see what's going on in the market. Something's pulling the market down. I don't know, and nobody posted any specific news about anything going on in the market right now, but the market is definitely moving down. I don't know. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. But you got to have a JOB if you want to be with me. Market is definitely pulling down. Do I need to go look at news? What time is it? 2:42. Do I need to go look at news to see what's going on? Research. Let's go out to CNBC. Dow jumps 300 points. I know, but I don't know. The Fed's preferred inflation indicator is out Friday. Affirm, blah, 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 blah. Let's go research. Let's go see what Yahoo has to say. Any take on Google getting sued by Yelp? I didn't hear anything about that yet. There's nothing in the news right now that's saying, hey, something happened and the market's just falling. Nothing. Nobody typed anything in the news, in the chat either. I don't know. I don't know what's making the market do this right now. I have no flipping idea. Michael says YieldMax stocks dividends very high. 69. So again, maybe I need to do a video on it. Maybe I need to do a video explaining how they work. I don't think that's what's the video I'm going to do tonight? I think the video tonight is should you stay in Nvidia? I think that's the story I'm going to do. I'm going to record the video tonight for tomorrow. I think that's going to be it. Ramon says market is worried about next Friday unemployment report. I think that why would it happen like right now? Wouldn't that be a gradual fall? Wouldn't that be a gradual? I don't know. PCE tomorrow, says Bill. Maybe. We still got like an hour and 15 minutes of market open, so I'm not sure. Nvidia losses are bringing part of the market down. That Believer 8, I'm with you. I'm with you that it could be. because Nvidia is a $3 trillion market cap. If it moves, when it moves, you move just like that. When Nvidia puts its hands upon a hip, the market dips, we dip, we all dip. So that could be it. But I don't know what made Nvidia right now beat down to where it is right now. I don't know. If there's options that just kicked in. I don't know. I don't know. And there's 2 economic data releases at 2:30. That's 15 minutes ago. They already happened, or they were. Okay, there you go. All right. I just wanted to watch that live. I am on 5-minute bars. I just wanted to watch that live. Wow, the market is falling. Let's go put that on intraday 5-minute bars current day. The market is falling. Now we're looking at 5-minute bars. Going into, let's go look at the home page. Where's my home page? Home page, still got 2 green lights. Mixed market. The NASDAQ is slightly down. The S&P is flat to slightly down. The S&P 100 down about a quarter. The VVC is down, is up. Still a mixed market, and we still have 2 green lights in the color guard, price and the buy to sell ratio. I just don't know what's making this happen right now. And you said that the Wall Street Journal is reporting. I got nobody out of all of the stuff that I'm looking at. I got nobody telling me nothing. Market tanks on Harris campaigning. I am not reading that, John. I'm so not reading that. And I don't know. I don't think that that's it either. All right. Let's go back to the viewers. Let's go look at your stocks. What is it? 246. There we go. Good. Let's go look at your stocks. How many likes did we get today? 57. I'm still going to give you 10 stocks. SBLK, Star Brokers. I am in ship. Because of oil. TPC 3, MO 4, EVGO 5, FI. Okay, 6, Crowd 7, VIRC 8, IDON, nope. NMIH, NMIH 9, and LRCX10. Yeah, I know. John is always trying to put politics into something. It's been happening often. Could be market manipulation, says Maria. I don't know. Some ain't right. I gave you my stocks earlier. Did you remember the Taboola? I said, no, I wasn't going to remember them. Nope. That's why I say, please hold off on your stocks until I ask you for them, because I would not remember them. Okay? I ask that all the time, every week, Taboola. I do that. So I do that on purpose. Jazz, no. I don't know why you telling me to put put a meme stock. I'm not doing it. All right. If you gave me these stocks, look at this. 2 of them are sell recommendations. So if you gave me CrowdStrike, didn't they beat today? I thought they did. Oh, they did. I think they beat. They were up 3.82%. Just be careful with the stocks in here that are sell recommendations. Are you doing a video on Labor Day? Oh, man, Joey, I forgot all about what I was going to do for Labor Day. Oh, I might have to do it tomorrow. Yeah, there's going to be a Labor Day video. Sorry, I forgot all about that. There will be a Labor Day video. All right. Whoever gave me NMIH, interesting that it's the number 1 stock by VST in the list, and it's undervalued. Fiserv, number 2 in the list by VST, undervalued. VIRC, undervalued, the 3rd one, and so on and so forth. The only stock without double-digit earnings growth rate is LRCX. At least it is positive, but not double digits. All right, so as before we get ready into analyzing them on a graph, looking at the VectorVest way of analyzing them, the top 3 are fundamentally sound stocks going up in price. All 3 are undervalued. These are good stocks. Let's go graph them all, though. All right, and let's graph them with a VectorVest graph. VectorVest simple on a 1-year graph. Let's go see why the top three are the top three. There you go. Bottom left, top right, rising earnings. A little bit off of the 1 year high, but definitely moving higher. Gotta love that. NMIH, now you see why it was the number one stock in the list by VST. Next one, same thing. FI, Fiserv. Nice move. Bottom left, top right, new 1 year high today with rising earnings per share. Remember, earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. The engine that drives the stock's price higher. You got to love these. Next one, and this is the third one, VIRC. Still high VST, but look at this. Volatile by way of RT, back and forth, back and forth. I do like the earnings per share, but right now, would I be in it? Nah. You know, RT is still above 1, but man, I would have stops on this. Historically, the stock pulls back, rises up, pulls back, rises up, pulls back. That's why the CI is as high as it is. Stock goes up more than it goes down. But I'd be careful if I'm in it right now. All right? Probably take that all off the table. TPC, earnings got hit while the stock was going up, but then look at that. Still higher than it was a year ago, not higher than this point back here in January. Gap, fading the gap, which is a bullish sign. Stock is currently a buy recommendation, but right at a level of resistance, sitting at about 23.36. I'd like to see it go up above that. The stock's got upside at least to this high of 26.88. If you're in it, leave it alone. I'd like to see it get out of its own way and break above that level of resistance. Whew. Altria, nice looking equity curve. A little trouble at the first half of the year, but look at the strong move. Rising earnings, rising RT, new 1 year high. Whoo-wee. I like that play. I cannot lie. You know, for anybody who's in here who has a problem with getting out of a stock, do you know that we give a stop price on every stock in the database? It's a 13-week moving average adjusted for the fundamentals of the stock. If the stock's fundamentals are good, we're going to raise the stop price. But when the stock's price falls through that stop price, it automatically... Let's go to the next stock. EVGO, a little bit more volatile in the move, a little higher than it was a year ago. This company's got negative earnings, but it's getting less and less negative. They're doing a better job of trying to get positive in the earnings space. Not there yet, but that's a positive sign for the stock. You can see the jagged moves in the stock, jagosity going on. It's a little bit more of a aggressive play. Just keep that in mind. AYI was doing great at the first half of the year, but pulling back. A couple of rebounds, but look at that. Even with the rebounds, they were lower highs. I'm going to do that. They were lower highs. That's a downtrend from the high on AYI. Is this a good opportunity? It faded the gap. That's a bullish sign. If I think that this stock has got movement to the upside, it's got to break through this downtrend. It has got to break through this down. If it doesn't do that, it's going to still continue to make lower highs and maintaining that lower bar, maintaining that downtrend from the high. Be careful with that. Now, if you're trading it, then you'll know that once it gets to that level of resistance, you'll get out of the stock or take the profits off the table. Same thing with Starbucks. Now, I own SHIP, and I've owned SHIP for a while because of the oil situation. Shipping companies tend to do good because you got to get the oil all over the place. I do like the rising earnings. I do not like price action, though. Look at that. Downtrending stock. That's it in a nutshell. All right. I do like the rising earnings, positive earnings. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. But the stock's price activity doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. And before I think about putting money behind the stock, before it does all of this, let's see it break down or break up from that downtrend. That's very important. All right. CrowdStrike might have beat earnings. There was the earnings. It might have beat earnings, but man, the stock is sitting in a little bit of a channel right now. All right, so it's one thing to beat earnings and the price goes up. One day doesn't make a trend. Big wick at the top of the candle, which shows some selling pressure. Earnings looks good. RT is below 1. Stock's not in an uptrend, even though the stock beat earnings. So what I'm looking for here, I think the stock's got the potential to keep moving higher. It's one of my favorite stocks in the cybersecurity space, right? What am I looking for? Well, let's wait for RT to get above 1. Tell me that the stock is in an uptrend before I pull the trigger, even after earnings, all right? So Affirm I did like. Was that not one of the stocks? That was in my list. I did look at that, David. Affirm was in my list today. LRCX, a sell recommendation, just no. I like that it faded the gap after earnings. That was beautiful. Since then, the stock's price has been going down. It is a sell recommendation. I love the earnings per share, but price action doesn't agree with it. So I'm not a fan of it. RT is not above 1. And again, you know what I like about looking at your stocks is that I'm looking at your stocks. These are not stocks that I pulled up, but I'm giving you the analysis straight from the VectorVest perspective by analyzing it with our core proprietary indicators. We're looking at a 1-year graph, a simple graph to help you to make decisions as well. So those of you who may be still holding CrowdStrike and LRCX, hopefully, if nothing else, one day doesn't make a trend. Hopefully, if nothing else, I've given you the reasons why you need to be very careful with those holdings. All right. Again, we did look at Affirm today. It was in my big news. I think Affirm was in there, wasn't it? It did make the news. There it is. We did look at Affirm. I don't know. Did we look at the graph? I don't remember. But it was in my big news stocks today. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph as well. No. Now, there's a positive sign here. I'm going to make this. There's a positive sign here. There's the downward trend prior to earnings. All right, there's the earnings. Prior to earnings, it broke through the uptrend. Broke through the downtrend. I would have been saying, from prior to earnings, it might have been okay to take a little piece of that. Look at the gap up, but look at the wicks on both the up and the downside. A little bit of a spinning top, a little bit of indecision to a certain degree without it being a doji. All right. I'd like to see if the stock's got some more downside to fade the gap, because we know that gaps like to be faded, right? So I'm interested, even after today's earnings, if the stock's going to have the wherewithal to pull back down. But that's a downtrend. It broke through the downtrend prior to earnings. Could have told you to take a little step in there. Yes, we did look at SoFi today. Can one not just hold VIRC because it's fundamentally sound? Lisa, yes. So, when I look at a stock, let's go look at VIRC again real quick. When I go look at a stock, right? And if I know that the stock, ooh, Vic, that was Harris Teeter. My Harris Teeter, VIRC. If I know that the stock is fundamentally sound, then yeah, I would hold it. You know what else I would do? If I want to hold a fundamentally sound stock, I'm going to give it a wider. No, actually, I don't need to. Lisa, we got to stop on it. All right, there it is. We got to, and it's been only a couple of times throughout the year that it had a sell recommendation. Lisa, in my opinion, even though it's a fundamentally sound stock, if it goes below the stop price and gives you a sell recommendation, I'd still pull the trigger and get out of it and wait. And still wait for a better buying opportunity to hold for the long term. Does that make sense, Lisa? If you know that it's fundamentally sound, why not use the VectorVest stop? How about it gets you out, wait, get back in, and still hold it? Does that make sense, Lisa? All right. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. In my opinion, big money trying to shake people out of Nvidia. Someone says, how can big money do that? Jazz, because they're moving a lot of shares. Big money moves a lot of shares. So that's why I think big money is trying to get a better buying price on Nvidia. That's what I think. All right. All right, Joey, put me on my last screen. I'm right on time today. I'm right on time. Trade the chart, not with the heart. There you go. I like that. I wrote that down. I did write that down. Trade the chart, not your heart. And Lisa, I think from the perspective of VIRC, I think that is trade the chart, not your heart. I know that it's fundamentally sound, but right now price action is telling me that it's not the stock that I want to be in right now. I'd wait for a better buying opportunity. So that's the way I look at it. All right, we're right at 2:59, right at it. I got to get ready to record tomorrow's video. All right, with that, folks, have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Some of y'all, I'll see you on the Jockey Club tomorrow morning. I've got a live stream tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock, the mobile app coaching. Hope to see you there. And adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Folks, I still reach out and say we all need to help each other out, because if we do a lot more of that, we'll be a better society. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.